Well, good morning, guys. Hey, thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it. So today I have with me, we have Bob Repass and Ryan Parson with Colonial Capital Management. So we're going to take a few minutes today to kind of give everybody a feel for who these guys are and what their company is really all about, kind of behind the scenes stuff. So thanks for joining me, guys.
Hey, good morning, Lance. Thanks for having us.
Yep, glad to be here.
All right, so we're just going to go through, got a couple questions, and that will be it, so it won't be too painless here. But so the first question I have for you is just, if you guys, one of you could give me just kind of a high-level overview of what your firm does to, generate investor returns. I mean, what is it that you guys do that end up, generating returns for your investors?
Well, Lance, there's, as you know, we work primarily in the distressed debt and discounted mortgage space, and we've been doing that almost all of our entire careers, both inside of our own private portfolios and that of our investors. And so one of the biggest elements that we do here inside of the Colonial Impact Fund 2 is actually in combination with our sister company, Note School, which has been training and teaching individual investors the last 15 years how to buy individual distressed debt and discounted mortgages for their own private portfolios. And because of that, we have a significant downstream retail investor network that likes to come and buy those individual assets from our fund, Colonial Impact Fund 2. And that is a big, what we feel is a competitive advantage in the marketplace that really benefits the investors in our fund because of that liquidation strategy that we have, and be able to market the assets out at a retail pricing to our downstream investors. That helps to create the investor returns inside of the fund for our high net worth investors that are with us.
Cool, got it. Yeah, thanks, Ryan, for that. So I mean, a lot of guys out there, I'm sure, acquired, notes and kind of do those sorts of things. I mean, obviously you're not the only one that does it. So another thing that I think that I'd like to, if you guys could share, it really was kind of your guiding investment philosophy. I mean, when you are looking at things to invest in, packages of notes or whatever, and what is it really, kind of behind the scenes that guides you and your team when kind of selecting which assets will be acquired and which ones won't?
Yeah, when we're looking at acquisitions, our main philosophy really comes down to two words, and that is stay disciplined. We see a lot of possible trades come across. Some of them look like they may fit our model, and some of them don't. And we try to make sure that we stay disciplined to our pricing model, and that we price everything accordingly, and we make the accurate purchases.
Got it. So who in your firm kind of is the one that's sifting through all this stuff that, that has that? I mean, as I'm assuming that, you must look at thousands of notes on a monthly basis, or I mean, who behind the scenes is kind of doing that kind of stuff?
Well, I handle all the acquisitions, but of course I have a team behind me that handles the due diligence piece. We have a great staff that handles all the due diligence when an offer comes across. So we do our pricing. When the price is accepted, then we conduct further due diligence. So we have a staff that handles both the valuation process, the title process, and then the closing process.
Got it. So the other thing is kind of the purpose. Obviously all of us wake up, we go to work. I'm just wondering for you guys, and you each can kind of answer. You might have a different response, but really, what is about your business? What gets you up in the morning? Beyond just making money, for your investors, for yourselves. I mean, that goes without saying, but there has to usually be more than that goes into it. So what is it that drives, kind of each of you to do what it is that you do?
Well, I'll maybe get started with that, Lance. And as you know, and many of our investors, existing investors in our fund know that I had a quote unquote corporate America job for 19 years, and to not be in corporate America anymore, to be able to be alongside of our investors day in and day out, and truly, be able to be aligned with other, like-minded high net worth investors as we're mutually growing our portfolios together. is really exciting for me. Not having to follow a prescribed path that corporate America says this is what you have to invest in, and this is what you have to do, and this is the way you should invest your portfolio. Being able to work alongside with high net worth, sophisticated investors that know exactly what they want, what they're looking for, is a true pleasure. It's literally a dream come true to be able to do that. And of course, as you know, being able to travel around the country in the motorhome and personally see all of our investors, or as many as we can throughout the year, on their in their home areas, and see what they enjoy doing, and watching them and experiencing them living their best lives, is it's a dream come true. It's about all I can say with it, and it's very, very enjoyable that our fund is structured in such a way to allow to have investors nationwide, and to be able to go and share the story, and that's a big deal for me.
Yeah, cool. How about you, Bob?
Well, also, I came from a corporate background, but what gets me excited every morning is teaming up with our business partner, Eddie Speed, and creating this Colonial capital management firm that we were able to launch our fund with, and just to grow that fund and to grow the business, and to build our team, and just to see our team every morning. I don't get the privilege of riding around in a motorhome like Ryan does. I get to stay back at the shop, but I get to go in every morning and see our staff, and watch them work behind the scenes. And it brings joy to me just to see everybody pull together in order to make this company grow, and it's rewarding every day.
Great. So, who in your guys' firm is kind of the unsung hero? The person that, I probably never met or heard of, or, at least spoken with at length, and why is that person the unsung hero? What is it about them that, embodies what you guys are all about?
Well, I would have to say that would be our Vice President of Operations, Susan De La Garza. Susan has worked with Eddie for 23 years. So obviously anybody that can work with anybody for 23 years speaks highly, but she is probably the most thorough underwriter and due diligence coordinator that I've ever worked with. She is the glue behind the scenes. She really is the one that manages the operation as far as, are we ready to pull the trigger and fund the transaction? She'll bring everything when it's ready to fund, and she's the one that we go to. She's a go-to person. When we need something done, Susan's the one that we can count on. She works endless hours, and I think Ryan would agree. We would not be where we are and grow at the rate that we do without her.
No doubt about that.
Anything to add about Susan, Ryan?
You know what, Lance, I've been working with Susan now for so many years in different various capacities, whether it's on individual loan trades or large portfolio loan trades, and her attention to detail is uncanny, and her ability to be able to spot some of the smallest little things, both really exciting things and potentially problematic issues with assets. She's like no one I've ever seen in any capacity I've ever been in that has the attention to detail that she does. She's absolutely amazing, and really true pleasure to get to work with. Those are people like that are hard to come by.
Good. Well, so as an organization, so what have been some of your greatest or proudest accomplishments here in the last 12 months? Just those things that you guys set out, as a group to accomplish. Maybe it's not even necessarily the metrics based, but whatever it is, I'd just like to kind of hear of some things that you guys have done the last 12 months.
Lance, that's a good question that you asked that, and something that it resonates with me in terms of how our investors have reacted to our fund structure. We've been doing this business for a lot of years now, and we've had several of these investors that we've done business with for a lot of years together. And I think it's been really exciting to see the reaction in the equity markets of our existing investors coming along with us in this fund structure, which for many of them is a new vehicle, if you will, to access the distressed debt and discounted note space. So what's the reaction to that and the excitement that our investors have shared with us that has propelled us over the $10 million of assets under management space in less than a 12-month period of time, which I think even surpassed our wildest expectations in this space too, considering we're in this low balance note space. So our typical balance that a borrower owes us might only be $30,000 or $40,000. So that's a lot of $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 loans that have all added up to eclipse that $10 million space. And so I think that's something that our investors can be proud of, because collectively of what they've been able to do gives that the benefit of that risk spread for all of their capital to be spread over several hundreds of assets with their investor capital, and really how that all of our investors, and realizing they don't all know each other, but are really have come together to benefit all those individual portfolios. So I'm ecstatic about that and grateful for the reaction from our investors to have come along with us on this journey.
How about you, Bob? Anything kind of operationally or behind the scenes that, some real strides you've made in, maybe scaling or, processes that have really been refined, or, anything in that way?
Yeah, I just want to tag team a little bit about what Ryan said. I think the communication system that we have with our investors, staying in front of them, whether it's Ryan traveling and meeting them face to face, or our quarterly webinars, or our monthly emails, I just think it comes across really well that we stay in touch with our investors on a regular basis. They know exactly what's going on in our fund. They feel like they can pick up the phone and give Ryan a call if they have a question. But I think we put them at such a comfort level that they feel like they've made a good, secure investment, and they trust us. And I'm just proud of the way that we've been able to work with our investors and grow. And I think we're doing a good job as far as that's concerned.
Great. So that wasn't too bad, was it?
Yeah, I thought that was just the warm up. Now where's the rest of the interview?
That's it for today. I think it just give everyone kind of behind the scenes a look into what you guys are all about, and see more of your personalities. Obviously, I know you guys well, and and think you're great, people, not just a great investment. So I think this just gives them a little bit of a feel for what makes you tick, and to see Ryan light up when he talks about driving the motor home, and Ryan about his team and stuff like that. I mean, Bob talking about your team. People don't get to see that stuff, so I think it goes beyond that, and I think this is indicative of what you guys are all about, and what drives you. So thanks for your time, fellas. Looking forward to spending some time with you here at the end of July up here in Portland.
Definitely.
We'll see if you come out on top as the emerging fund manager of the year. So congrats on
We appreciate it.
list, and good luck.
Yeah, thanks for that, Lance. We appreciate this continued support you guys give us. It's. I was just meeting with a family office here in Aspen yesterday, as a matter of fact, and it was, it's a sizable chunk of money that was really exciting. And his question was, how do I know you guys aren't going to steal my money? Because they've had that happen to them before. And it's like, I'm getting, a little bit of a piece of thick skin around that question, because that's hard when, someone asks you a question like that. But one of the part of the top of my answer was, that's exactly why we have a third-party fund administration company. There are so many sets of eyes watching this go on day in and day out. And to a certain extent, Lance, you guys know more about that granular level data of those loans than we even do. And obviously we rely on you to give us that information. And so it was just a big part of pride to be able to, share what this whole mechanism looks like, and what we are really all doing to protect all of our investors and to protect the space as a whole, the small balance space. So I just, y'all give me a great story to go out and sell, and it's really powerful.
Well, I agree, and I think it's mutual. It goes both ways, and I think that, I asked you the question of what gets you up in the morning, and for me, it's, we all kind of have a different thing, but it really is, for me, it's, I've taken this on as we can build this ecosystem that really does, help deliver great returns to investors, but I think more importantly, really gives them the peace of mind that their investments are safe. Obviously no one can guarantee that they'll generate a return, because there's just factors that are out of our control. But in terms of losing principal because of misappropriation of funds or things like that, that can be, there's things that can be done, a multitude of things that one can do. And I think that by bringing that best practice, to the entire segment is really what we're trying to do and to facilitate that. So I think it goes both ways. So.
Well, very good. We're glad to be a part of it and appreciate the nomination, and definitely look forward to seeing you guys next month up in your neck of the woods.
All right. Take care, guys. Have fun.